Greetings and welcome to this video. Welcome to Cat's Corner. I am Cat Morgan and I welcome you to this video, to this channel, and to this space. This is a collective reading and it is timeless, so whenever you come across this video, however you come across it, it's the right time for you to be getting this message. And you may have been asking for encouragement or support on something, or just confirmation on a question that you had, and then all of a sudden this video pops up in your feed, or you have a subscription and you are just waiting for the next installment. Either way, you are welcome in this space. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are going to be looking at the energy reading for the coming next period. I don't want to put a time frame in it. It's however long as it applies to you and your life specifically at this moment. So it could be just for the day, could be for the week, could be for the rest of the year going forward if you're listening to this when it was uploaded shortly before the Christmas time. However and whenever, again, it's the right time. And today's card is pulled from the Cat Mythos Magick Oracle deck by Caprino, and it is card number 36, the Self-Care Kitten. Yes, yes, indeed. And we've touched on this idea, this concept, briefly recently in recent videos coming up, about how as we are releasing that which no longer serves us, we are making room for things to come in that do serve us, that do serve us more effectively and efficiently, and for our highest and greatest good, and for the highest and greatest good of all, because that's our ultimate goal always. That's our purpose in life, right? To bring that, more of that, into the world. As we do that, it comes into our world as well as a result. And that includes self-care. So we've got, what a beautiful little Zen space for this guy, right? I feel like he's a boy kitten, but he could definitely be, not gender specific, I think is the best way to say it. Little orange tabbies. I love these guys. They are so calm and mellow. They just love to, they're lizards. They love to just kind of soak up the sun. They represent, for me, that 3D energy, the third chakra, and that orange yellow color, the second and third chakras. So very, very grounded energy of love and nurturing. And we've got the water elements here as well as earth. We've got fire. And I wouldn't be surprised, I don't see it right off the top here with the card, but it wouldn't surprise me at all if there was some incense somewhere floating around, or it's just a very aromatic place with the bamboo. I love this. And I don't know if you have something like this set up at home, but you definitely want to have some place in your home that is your quiet place, that is your sanctuary, that nobody is allowed to go to except you. And it could be a chair in a common room. You know, as long as everybody knows when you're in that chair and you're in a specific posture, pose, you know, leave you alone. Let you have your quiet time. It may be the bathroom with the door closed. It may be taking that bath like we have with this person here, this cat here. Just bringing in that energy of balance, of support, and making sure that you are taking care of yourself, because when your physical body fails, you can't do anything, right? If you don't have your health, you don't have anything. And health is a direct result of self-care. So it doesn't mean spending tons of money on expensive things that, you know, lotions and potions, as it were, or memberships in any place. That is not at all necessary. Almost all of us, I think, have some form of a shower or bathtub. You just jump in there and turn on water that is comfortable for you. If you like taking those cold showers, you do that. You rock that. Not so much for me, but I do use the cold water on the face to help perk up the parasympathetic nervous system, the vagus nerve, right? So that's all part of self-care. Sometimes a little shock therapy is a good thing, especially when we are the ones that are in control of it, and we can determine the amount as well as the intensity of it. But very, very calm, peaceful when you are operating from this place of calm, of peace, of knowing that all is well in your world. Whatever is happening out there, outside, that we have no control over, let it do its thing. Let them be them. That's, that's not your problem. Your responsibility and your accountability is for yourself. Again, because if you are not taking care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. You cannot pour from a cup that is empty. And we just had the previous reading to this was the River Woman. So very strong water energy continuing through with these readings. But again, we have the candle here with fire and lots of earth energy with this as well. A balance in all things. Moderation is key. So do what feels right for you, whatever it is. If it's, going and taking a power walk, go for it. If it's just sitting in stillness and quiet, do that. Listen to your body. Follow the instructions that it's giving you. If you feel like you're hungry but you just ate, maybe you're thirsty, have a drink of water. Make sure there's lots of water that is being drank as well as around you. I don't know if you've noticed, I mean, I don't have a really expensive setup here. I just record from my computer because I don't have a lot of money. This is not a monetized channel, and the purpose of these videos is not to produce income for me or anybody else. I apologize for the ads. That is something I have no control over. So, but in any event, it may sound a little tinny when I am talking to you, and part of that is because of the microphone in the computer, but also I have a water fountain going in the background, and it's a real fountain going into a real basin, so it has its own kind of echoey sound, so you may be hearing that as well sometimes in the background. But that's my point, is make sure you have that opportunity, whatever is best for your financial situation, as well as what works best for you. Gentlemen, as a rule, don't want to hear a lot of running water in the background. It doesn't really work for them physiologically. So do what works best for you. Don't force yourself into something simply because somebody showed you a picture on a video or said something to you that sounded good. Give it a try, but if it doesn't work for you, release it. You are never required to do anything in terms of self-care that is not actually benefiting you in one form or another. Sometimes we have to exercise when we don't want to as part of that self-care, or drink that extra glass of water. When we first get up in the morning, we are dehydrated as heck, man. So first thing we should be doing is drinking a good-sized cup of water. It doesn't have to be more than like 6 or 8 ounces to begin with, but get yourself that chance. And, if you're anything like me, you're like, man, I don't want water first thing. I want coffee or tea or something, tasty, something that gives me some kind of emotional thing. But we can do the same thing with water, and you can do the same thing, put a little lemon in it, whatever you would like to do. But that's my point, is sometimes we have to do things that don't always look like this in the picture here that we have before us, but they are also part of that self-care. So I haven't taken a look in the book yet. Let's take a look in the book and see what it has to say for us for our card number 36. And I will just, you guys already know this, but 36 is one of those amazing numbers. It says 36 and it adds up to a 9, and there we are, the 3 Tesla perfected numbers, the 369 right there in this card, which is the ultimate balance and the ultimate abundance, both. It comes from both sides, so very powerful number in itself. All right, let's see what the book has to say. For card number 36, Self-Care Kitten, our keywords are happiness and well-being. And I'll just, before I start going into that, I will just say, yep, that's exactly what we were talking about. That's no big surprise. But those are not those are not things that are nice to have if you can have them. They are requirements. They are like oxygen for you. Happiness and well-being, knowing that you are safe and secure and knowing that all is well in your world. Okay? So the message here is focus on your needs. Sleep well, eat well, and exercise. Connect with what makes you feel happy and at peace. And the mythos behind the self-care kitten. You are being called to understand what makes you feel good and what creates happiness in your life. While taking care of your physical body is a large part of your commitment to your time in this realm, the self-care kitten asks that you reach inward for something more to discover the real magic that's inside you. In a journal, write your thoughts on these questions. How would you describe yourself? And that's an open-ended question, so you could use whatever words you would want to use. You know, I would use a variety. Describe yourself physically, describe yourself financially, emotionally, all of the big highlights, right? The big five. How would you describe yourself? What are your greatest joys? What are the things that make you smile every single time? Every single time. Maybe playing with your pet, your cat or your dog. It may be snuggling up with your partner. It may be snuggling up with your kids or snuggling up with your parents. Doesn't matter. What are your greatest joys? And that's multiple, not just one. What happenings would you like to come into your life within the next year? And we're probably all thinking about that right about this time as this video is being uploaded. It's coming towards the end of the year, the beginning of another year. What happenings, what would you like to see happen in your life in the next year? And what light would you like to bring into this world? And there we are. It comes right back around, doesn't it, to bringing love, bringing light, bringing what is the best for the highest and greatest good of all and ourselves. For sure, for sure. And then cats and cleanliness, we know. If you have ever seen a cat, the first thing they do when they eat or take a drink is they groom themselves. They're always grooming themselves. Yes, they are. Considered by many as the cleanest of domestic animals, cats groom themselves to keep their fur tidy and to hide their scent from predators. Licking can also feel good, and they sometimes share the pleasurable experience by grooming other felines, as well as their human companions. And I don't know if you've ever had that little sandpaper kiss, but yes, we do sometimes get little cat kisses. We also get cat kisses with the closing our eyes slowly when we're looking at our kitty and they're looking at us. And when they are slowly closing their eyes towards you, that's a kiss for you. So we had that in a reading some time back, I remember, from this deck. I remembered how sweet that was. So let's take a look. I wanted to also pull some cards from the You Are Pawsome motivational deck, inspirational deck. I love this deck. It's got stuff on both sides of the cards. So you'll see the cover of it in just a moment. And I'm going to read them all three in a line because they are literally, as always, seems to be just carrying on the conversation. We start with this card, the Oracle card. So what are the three cards that we pulled from the You Are Pawsome deck? Well, first we've got Wake Up and Be Awesome. Wake up and be awesome. Start the day. I'm going to be putting an upload on the Authentic Self series in not too much more time that kind of centers in on this idea of waking up and being awesome. We have the opportunity in any time period to change how we feel about ourselves and about what's happening in our world at that moment by making a simple statement. And it's really simple, and you can change up the word depending on the situation. But I made this as a challenge to a friend that was going through a really bad period. I told them, you know, if you ever want to stop feeling miserable, do you want to stop feeling miserable? Do you want to stop being unhappy with the way things are going? And they're like, well, yes, of course. And so I said, well, then just say, I feel awesome. I feel awesome. Say that out loud. Say it with intention, like you mean it. I feel awesome. And something will happen to you when you say those 3 words. It'll change how you feel. You'll start feeling more awesome than you were just a second ago. And if you start paying attention to that new feeling, it's going to expand and grow. What you put your attention to grows. So wake up and be awesome. And if you don't wake up and feel awesome, if you wake up and you feel tired, you sit up in bed, give yourself a second in that self-care, and you say out loud, I don't care if your partner is still asleep, they will get over it. You will explain to them what you are doing if they question it. Otherwise, they'll probably just go right back to sleep. But just say it out loud. I feel awesome. I feel awesome. And it'll change how you feel. You can change up that last word. I feel amazing. I feel powerful. I feel fantastic. I feel tremendous. I feel capable. I feel successful. I feel prosperous. You know, fill in the blank, honey, with anything you like, as long as it is in that same frame of you are awesome, because you are awesome. And I've been telling you that on this channel almost every single video. So there you are. Wake up and be awesome, because the storms don't last forever. They don't. We are, as this is being uploaded, this video, in the beginning of the winter season, end of the fall season. Weather's been kind of punky here for me personally in Albuquerque, but we've had warmer temperatures recently and sunshine, and I'm enjoying this milder weather than we had just a little bit ago. So that's part of it too. Remember that all things change. You are not the clouds that are passing across the sky. You are the sky watching those clouds. So wake up and be awesome, because storms don't last forever. And you learn to rest, not to quit. And isn't that the perfect card to follow up the self-care card? And this whole idea, waking up, being awesome, feeling awesome, knowing you're awesome, because you know the storms don't last forever. And you've learned to rest, but not to quit. You don't have to quit. When you are resting, that's not giving up. That's self-care. That's required. You are required to rest. You are required to sleep. You are required to breathe. You are required to have stillness. That is a requirement, just like oxygen and just like water. What does it say on the backs of these cards? I did not take a picture of that. You're going to have to trust me on this. But on the back of the Wake Up and Be Awesome card, we have positive moments. Think about your day up till now. And if you're just waking up, you're not going to have a whole lot of a day. But pick out 3 positive moments and jot them down. So that would be a good thing to do at the end of the day, okay? Because if you are ending the day thinking about what worked well, you're going to wake up the next morning carrying that forward. Your brain doesn't stop processing whatever you've been thinking as you fall asleep. That's where all of that resting in the wish fulfilled, sleeping in that space where you feel like it's already a past tense event. You don't have to do that to make things up. Now you can do that at night, just recapping what happened during the day. And even if the day went to shit, okay? There's still going to be three things that happened well. Somebody laughed as a result of something that went sideways, and it was a funny moment in the midst of that crisis, or somebody gave a hug, or you were able to give somebody a hug at a time that it was needed and not necessarily a good place. There's positive things that happen in the midst of those nasty things. Or it could have simply been a wonderful day. You woke up, the sun was shining, you got yourself ready for work or whatever your errands were for the day, and everything got done productively. There's always something positive. Wake up and be awesome, and find those three positive moments from the end of the day, at the end of the day. Now see, there's happiness hidden everywhere. 1,000 marvels bloom anew each dawn. Catch it. I love that. So let me read this whole thing to you on the backside of Wake Up and Be Awesome. Positive moments. Think about your day up to now. Pick out 3 positive moments and jot them down. See, there's happiness hidden everywhere. 1,000 marvels bloom anew each dawn. Catch it. I love that. Storms don't last forever. Just stay calm. Close your eyes and center yourself. I'm just reading what's on the back of this card, guys. Just stay calm. Close your eyes and center yourself. Feel your body. Breathe. What do you sense? Believe it. You can overcome any difficulty by staying calm in all circumstances. And that may be the word that you stick at the end of that 3-word line. I feel calm. I feel peaceful. I feel grounded. I feel centered. I feel at peace. Those may be the words that you put at the end of that line. Just stay calm. The storm will pass, and we know this. We learn to rest and not to quit. So this is the grounding exercise. Yes, I remember seeing this thing before. So this is literally coming after the storms don't last forever, where it's talking about closing your eyes and centering yourself. This is the grounding exercise. If you are in the midst of a panic attack or an anxiety attack, this is what you do to get you out of it immediately without any transition. It's one of those quantum leaps. Name 5 things you can see around you. Couch, chair, computer, phone, floor, ceiling, plant, window, whatever it is. Name 5 things you can see around you. Identify 4 things you can hear. What can you hear? What are you listening to? Is there any traffic outside? Just listen for a second. Probably hear the water in the background in my video. But listen and just identify what you are hearing. Actually put names to these things. So say, I see a chair, I see a table, I see a lamp, I see a plant, I see a window, I hear the video, I hear the car going outside, I hear myself talking, whatever. If there's not a whole lot of sound, you're going to have to, dig around a little bit. But you're going to find 4 things you can hear, 5 things you can see, 4 things you can hear, 3 things you can touch. You can touch your phone, your computer, the table, the chair, the floor, anything, your leg, your head. Now, what are 2 things you can smell? Are you drinking coffee or tea or soda? Are you eating? Did you just cook a meal or put some stuff away? Can you smell anything? What are you smelling? 2 things that you can smell and 1 thing that you can taste. Now take a slow, deep breath. Learn to rest, not to quit. We remember the storms don't last forever, and every morning we have the opportunity to wake up and be awesome, to be amazing, to be our most authentic selves. So that is the reading for the day. I do hope it resonated with you and blessed you. That is always my only goal with all of these readings. Whenever I start, after I shuffle, while I'm shuffling, while I'm pulling the cards, I'm asking the universe, just give me whatever it is that would be most helpful for whoever sees this video, whenever they see it. That's it, every time. So I love you. Have the most amazing, fantastic day. Namaste and ciao for now.